tile, or I have some white tile dishes that I use. If I'm mixing up a lot of colors and I need a little a well, I use those palettes that have all the circles in it, and then I'll put a piece of aluminum foil on it. But for the most part, I'm doing such small amounts of paint that a flat palette or my little dishes works pretty well. And they clean right up with Windex. Windex will cut right through the acrylic. Okay, so this is the Dick Blick Blue. Let's see, what's the fattest brush I brought? Where's my little shot glass? There it is. I'm going to spread this out so you can see the difference in the colors. This is the reason why I use a white palette. So they both look dark when you're looking at them in the bottle. The Dick Blick Dark Blue Deep is pretty close to a Prussian blue, and then the Vallejo Prussian Blue I think is more of an ultramarine blue. If you mix them together, you'd probably get a pretty true Prussian blue out of it. Because I think Prussian blue is a little halfway between. Sometimes it's got this kind of a greenish tone to it, and sometimes it's got a deep blue color to it, depending on the light and the age of the material that it is, because it does fade. So then I'll pick a dark brown. Let's shake this out. I don't think I brought the Vallejo brown with me. Throw it in there. This is Chocolate Bar by Apple Barrel. And then this is the Folk Art Burnt Umber. This stuff, I did notice a consistency difference. The Apple Barrel flows a little bit more. The Folk Art is kind of, I don't know what you'd call it, chunky. It doesn't. It comes out in a more solid fashion. Yeah, and you can see this is a little. The burnt umber is a little bit. I don't know what words you would use to describe that. As opposed, I guess this one, the chocolate bar, has a little more red in it, maybe. Yeah. And so to mix a gray, I just take a little bit of the brown and the blue. As you can see, the folk art colors, it doesn't, you have to mess with it to get it to mix. It's a little chunkier. And so the Prussian blue and, the dark blue deep, Dick Blick mixed with the burnt umber has a greenish gray tone going on. If you mix this more blue with the burnt umber, you've got more of a gray, a blue-gray going on. So it just really depends on, what you're doing, what your mood is that day, as far as the type of gray that you're going to use. And then these will also, when you add white to them, it's going to change their characteristic even more. This is a Vallejo white. And you're noticing that I am using Vallejos with these apple barrels. They seem to mix just fine. Now see how that is a nice gray, that one there. I like that gray a lot. And let's see what happens with this one. This one's going to turn a little more green. Now if we add, using complementary colors, since I sense a bit of a green thing going on here, maybe we'll add a little bit of the reddish brown to it, and if you mix complementary colors together, you're going to get a real nice gray. And so red and green are complementary colors. And there's There's a pretty nice gray right there. I would call this one more of a true gray, and this was mixed with the complementary colors. This is a green gray and a blue gray. And I very rarely use black. I find that black kind of deadens everything and kind of makes things look a little bit muddy. So I prefer to mix my grays with colors because it makes them a little more vibrant.